Dear students, today we'll see what do we mean by series resonance. Now in this first we will see what is a resonance, and then in that we will see types of resonance, and after knowing the types of resonance we will go to see what is series resonance. Then in that series resonance we will see what is the a condition for series resonance. We'll see the expression for frequency of resonance in series resonance. We'll plot the phasor diagram. We will plot the resonance plot, and we'll see the characteristics of series resonance. And then we will see an experiment on a series resonance circuit in which we will plot the frequency response also. Okay. So let's start with the topic series resonance. So today's topic will be having as series resonance. Before going to series resonance, we will just see what do we mean by resonance. So here is a statement for resonance. Resonance occurs in electric circuits due to the presence of energy storing elements like inductor and capacitor. Okay, so we are going to use energy storing elements like inductor and capacitor, and when we use those elements we can exhibit the phenomena of resonance. It is the fundamental concept based on which the radio and TV receivers are designed in such a way that they should be able to select only the desired station frequency. Now we know that whenever we use our TV and when we select a particular channel, it is nothing but we are tuning to a particular channel. Similarly, whenever we hear a radio and we select a station, we are tuning to a particular station. Now these tunings can be exhibited by circuits which perform or which exhibit resonance. And now in this resonance, we will see types of resonance circuits, and then we will go to see what is series resonance. So here, next, we will see types of resonance. There are two types of resonances, namely series resonance and parallel resonance. So today we are going to see what is series resonance. These are classified based on the network elements that are connected in series or parallel. So we'll see that in series resonance, R, L, C are connected in series, whereas in parallel resonance, L and C are connected in parallel. Okay. So today we will concentrate on what is series resonance. So let's see first the statement of series resonance. What is series or resonance? So in the RLC series circuit, when the circuit current is in phase with the applied voltage, the circuit is said to be in series resonance. Now this definition is with respect to the phasor diagram. Now because in the circuit, the effect of a capacitive reactance and inductive reactance will get cancelled out, and only because resistance remains in the circuit, the current flowing in the circuit will be in phase with the applied voltage. This is the first understanding of series resonance. Secondly, we can also tell that the series resonance condition arises in the series RLC circuit when the inductive reactance is equal to the capacitive reactance. Now this everything we will understand when we see the circuit diagram. Okay. Then here we can have our circuit diagram. Now in this circuit you will see that we are having a resistance R, this is resistor R, in series with inductor L, which is in series with capacitor C. So this is RLC is in series, so it is a RLC circuit. Okay. Now to this RLC combination, we have applied a voltage here, a alternating quantity whose frequency will vary. We can vary the frequency of this alternating quantity. Now because we have applied this alternating quantity, there will be a current flowing in the circuit as we have shown here. Current I will be flowing in the circuit. Now when we say when the current is flowing in the circuit, the opposition to the flow of current is given by resistance R. It is given by the inductor in the form of inductive reactance, which is XL, which is equal to 2 pi FL, where F is the frequency of the applied source here, this frequency of this, and L is the component value, that is the inductor value, in how much Henry it is. Then we have opposition to the flow of current given by C, which is XC, which is nothing but 1 by 2 pi FC, where again F is the frequency of the supply source and C is the value of the capacitance used. Now here we say that series resonance phenomena will take place. That is, in the series circuit, resonance will take place if the opposition to the flow of current by the inductor, that is the reactance of the inductor, is equal to reactance of the capacitor. If this condition is there, and this happens at a particular frequency f, at a particular frequency of the source f, and a particular frequency, the inductive of reactance will be equal to inductive of capacitance. So their effects are equal and opposite. They will get cancelled out. Their effect will be cancelled out. Their opposition to the flow of current will be cancelled out. And then what remains in the circuit will be only resistance. And if resistance is there in the circuit, then the applied voltage will be in phase with the flowing current. Okay, so this is the condition of series resonance, and it takes place at a particular frequency, at a particular frequency of the source. Say for example, this frequency we are going to vary from 100 hertz to 1 kilohertz. Okay, so we can design a system where it will happen, the series resonance phenomena happens at 500 hertz. So at a particular frequency this can happen. Otherwise, on all other frequencies, either the inductive reactance is more or the capacitive reactance is more, and they will not get cancelled out. So the total effective resistance in the circuit will not remain only a resistor, whereas the inductor and the capacitor will also have an effect. So that effect where the inductive reactance and capacitive reactance get cancelled and only the resistance effect remains in the circuit, that happens for a particular frequency, and that happening of a particular frequency is called as resonating at a particular frequency. Okay, so this is resonance, series resonance. And then here we will see the characteristics of this, what happens when the series resonance take place. Now if XL is equal to XC, that is reactance of inductor, is equal to XC, that is reactance of the capacitor, if they both are equal and opposite, their effects is minimized, cancelled out, then only resistance remains in the circuit. Then the circuit resistance will be minimum at that particular frequency, at that particular resonant frequency. And because the circuit resistance is minimum, the current flowing the circuit at that particular frequency will be maximum. These are the two important characteristics of series resonance which we have to remember. So here we can see the phasor diagram of the series resonance circuit. So if you draw the phasor diagram, now we know that at resonance when XL is equal to XC, the effect of resistance only will be there. Inductive reactance and capacitive reactance will get cancelled out. So if you draw the phasor diagram here, you can see this phasor diagram. Okay, so here you can draw a phasor diagram. So here you can show the voltage across L, that is inductor, which is given as JXLI. Okay, or that is I into the reactance of the inductance, where J is an imaginary factor, and then VC, that is the voltage across the capacitor, can be given as minus JXCI, that is reactance of a capacitance into the multiplied by the current will give the voltage across the capacitor, and this will be VR, which is nothing but the current flowing through the circuit multiplied by R. Okay, now this is at the in phase line. This is where the voltage and current are in phase, and here you can see the inductive voltage leads, and here you can see the capacitive voltage lags. Okay, so if there is inductive effect, the voltage is going to lead. If there is capacitive effect, the voltage is going to lag, and same with the current also. So here, if the inductive reactance and capacitive reactance get cancelled at series resonance, that is when XL is equal to XC, then the current flowing through the circuit will be in phase with the applied voltage. So here you can show the current which is flowing. Here you can show the current which is flowing, and this line only you can show the voltage also. So voltage and current will be in phase, and that is the condition where your series resonance is happening. The current is not leading or it is not lagging. Okay, so it is in phase with the voltage, and that is because the effect of inductance and capacitance are equal and opposite. They get cancelled out and only resistance remains in the circuit. Okay, this is what the phasor diagram says. So at resonance, XL is equal to XC. So VL and VC are equal in magnitude and opposite in phase, and hence they cancel out each other. So the voltage drop across RV will be equal to VR. Okay. So then what are the effects of series resonance? As we have seen earlier, the following effects of the series resonance conditions are given. At resonance, XL is equal to XC, that is reactance of inductor is equal to reactance of a capacitance. The impedance of circuit is minimum, that is it is only R. There will be no effect of inductor and capacitance, and it is reduced to the R resistance R. So impedance Z is equal to R. That is only the R resistance in the circuit. So second point says that at resonance condition, as the impedance of the circuit is minimum, the current in the circuit is maximum. That is, current flowing IR will be maximum. It is nothing but V upon the impedance, which is nothing but V upon the resistance. As the value of resonant current IR is maximum, hence the power drawn by the circuit also is maximum. So P is equal to I square R will be maximum at a particular frequency, at resonant frequency. Then we'll see the third point. At the resonant condition, the current drawn by the circuit is very large, or we can say that the maximum current is drawn. Therefore, the voltage drop across the inductance L, that is VL, is equal to IXL is equal to I into 2 pi F, that is the resonant frequency into L. And for a capacitance BC is equal to IXC, I into 1 upon 2 pi resonant frequency into C will also be very large. So the voltage drops across L and C will be very large. Then in short, if you see the characteristics of series resonance circuit, it is having minimum impedance because Z will become equal to R. Z will become equal to R because XL is equal to XC. They will get cancelled out. That effect will not be there, and the total circuit impedance will come only to what is the resistance of the circuit. Maximum circuit current, because the impedance is minimum, current will be maximum obviously. Cos phi is equal to 1, hence current and voltage become in phase. The circuit current becomes proportional to the circuit R resistance, that is I becomes proportional to 1 upon R. Okay. Then what is the resonant frequency of series resonance? What is the expression? What is the formula for that? The frequency at which resonance occurs is called as resonant frequency. We'll denote it as FR. In series RLC circuit, resonance occurs when the imaginary terms of impedance is 0. That is, the value of XL minus XC should be equal to 0. That is, the inductive reactance and capacitive reactance will be equal and opposite. So it will be 0. So hence, we will start our equation as XL is equal to XC. As we have shown here, we can start XL is equal to XC, this, and then substitute for XL is equal to 2 pi FL and X is equal to 1 upon 2 pi FC in the equation, in this equation. So we will get this, and then in that, if you equate them, then we'll get F square is equal to 1 upon 2 pi square LC, and we'll get F is equal to 1 upon 2 pi root LC. So F is equal to 1 upon 2 pi root LC will be the expression for the resonant frequency in series resonance. This is very important to understand. And then we will go to see the exact resonant frequency expression, what we have seen here. Therefore, the resonant frequency F is equal to 1 by 2 pi root LC, where L is the inductance of an inductor and C is the capacitance of the capacitor. So both those values you have to put in the expression, and that will give you the resonant frequency expression. The resonant frequency of series resonance RLC depends only on the inductance L and capacitance C, but it is independent of resistance R. Okay. Then if you see the graph of impedance versus frequency, so here we have taken x-axis as frequency and y-axis as impedance. So as the frequency starts increasing, it comes here to the resonant frequency, and after resonant frequency it is shown here. So before the resonant frequency, the capacitor reactance is more, okay, because Xc is equal to 1 by 2 pi Fc. So it is inversely proportional to F. So when F is less, Xc is more. So here you can see this graph, okay, and then after the resonant frequency, XL is more because XL is equal to 2 pi FL, and you can see this relation graph. Okay, at the resonant frequency, what happens? At this resonant frequency, XL is equal to XC. They both will be equal and opposite, and they will cancel out each other. So the only effect will be the impedance here will be R, resistance will be the impedance. So impedance will be minimum at resonant frequency, and therefore the current will be maximum. Okay. Similarly, you can show the graph for current. So here you can see x-axis we have taken as frequency here, and y-axis we are taken as current here, and this is the resonant frequency at which the series resonance is going to take place. So before the resonant frequency, the current is just increasing and it will reach to the maximum at the resonant frequency, and after the resonant frequency again it decreases. So at resonant frequency, because the impedance is less minimum, the current will be maximum. The current will be maximum at resonance. So here you can see the current is maximum at resonance frequency. Then if you go to see the bandwidth, so you can calculate the bandwidth also. You take the graph of voltage or current. So here we have taken current graph, and then you can have this maximum current at the resonant frequency. Then from that maximum point you can come back to 70.7% of the maximum. So this is 70.7% of the maximum, that is minus 3 decibel points. If you take those points, you will get 2 frequency points here, and that frequency range will give you the bandwidth, which is between the FL and FH, or you can call it as F1, F2. So bandwidth here will be equal to F2 minus F1, or it can be FH minus FL. That is the frequency range where the response is more than half of the power of the maximum. Okay, so it is called as bandwidth. So with the bandwidth, you can also calculate what is the quality factor. Okay, and with the quality factor, you can find out that Q. Okay, so here in the experiment, once we know what is bandwidth, we can also find out the quality factor. Now, if we go to see the series resonance experiment, so the experiment of series resonance says that in our aim, we have to construct a series resonance circuit, plot its frequency response, construct the circuit, plots frequency response, okay, and find its bandwidth, find bandwidth and quality factor, okay. That is what is the experiment we have to do on series resonance. Then for that we will take a circuit of series resonance. So we can have a inductor, we can have a capacitor, we can have a resistor, okay, and then we will have a voltage source here, which we can give by a function generator in our lab, okay. And this inductor value, this is the capacitor value. Inductor we will take it as 100 millihenries, okay, and capacitor will take it as 1 microfarad, and this resistance we will take it as 100 ohms, okay. This will be your supply input, what you give from the frequency generator. You give a AC wave with a sine wave, and this peak to peak voltage of this AC wave we will keep it as 5 volt, okay. Now here the frequency of the AC wave will be changed, and then we will see the resonant effect. We will connect our CRO or a meter where we can see this output voltage. So here we will see output voltage, not the current, because current display is not so easily obtainable in lab. So we will see for voltage, okay. So we'll take the output voltage here, and this is how we are going to rig up our circuit. Now in this circuit, our resonant frequency FR will be equal to 1 upon 2 pi root LC. Now L and C values we have, L is 100 millihenries and C is 1 microfarad. If you put those values in this, you will get FR as 503.22 hertz. So it is around 500 hertz what we will have. Okay. Now in this experiment, we have to apply the voltage of 5 volt amplitude peak to peak and keep it constant and go on varying the input frequency from the function generator. Okay, now input frequency we can vary. First we can say it is 100 hertz, second 200 hertz, third 300, 400, 500 till 1k or 10k you can take. And we want to see that what happens at 500 hertz, because we have designed this circuit to resonate at 500 hertz. Okay, so here if you see the observation table, you can have your observation column like this, so which is called as your tabular column. Observations you can have, like you can put the serial number of observation, you can have frequency in hertz, you can have output voltage, okay, output voltage in volts. Okay, you can say what is your input voltage. Input voltage will take it as 5 volts. Okay, so serial number 1 2 3 4 5 6, it goes on, start from 100 hertz, 100 hertz, 200 hertz, 300 hertz, okay, 400 hertz, 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1k, 1.5k, 2k. Okay, you take all these readings and you note down the voltages here, and we'll see that the voltage at 500 hertz has to be maximum, then all other earlier readings and all other after that readings. Okay, so the voltage at 500 hertz should be maximum, and if you show that, we can show that at resonance the current was maximum, the resistance was minimum, and therefore the voltage across R is maximum. Okay, so this is how we can take the readings for this experiment. And after we take the readings, we can plot the graph. We can plot the graph of voltage versus frequency. So we can plot it here like this: voltage, output voltage versus frequency, and you can show the graph like this. And then this is maximum at the resonant frequency FR, which was equal to 1 upon 2 pi root LC. Okay, this is 0. This is the maximum voltage point Vmax, and then you can come back to 70.7% of maximum Vmax. So here you will get 2 points. This point you can take it as F1, this point you can take it as F2. So F1, F2, this will be your bandwidth, this will be a bandwidth. So you can calculate the bandwidth is equal to F2 minus F1. Okay, and then you can find out the quality factor, which is given as the resonant frequency upon bandwidth, which is nothing but FR upon F2 minus F1. Okay, so this is how we can perform the experiment, and we can see for whatever resonant frequency we have designed the circuit, whether it is resonating at that particular frequency or no. At that particular frequency, the current should be maximum, the voltage should be maximum, and that is what we can show in the practicals. Okay, thank you, students.